Rick Walton, and from the Tony Open, and Jared Attenbest,
Correct.
David Best. Good to see you guys.
Hey, Bart.
See you.
David, hi, nice to see you. David is my grandson's soccer coach and doing a nice job.
Thank you. We enjoy having him on the team. The Big Green.
Yeah, what's the record?
We took one on the chin last week because we had some hockey boys missing for their hockey tournament. So we're 2-1 now. But as I told the boys, sometimes you're the hammer, sometimes you're the nail. So we'll come back this week.
Well,
Yeah, Rick's on the sidelines for those soccer games. He's got grandkids playing too.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, today we wanted to talk a little bit about the Tony Open, and Rick, you remember Tony Consolino.
Yeah, I do.
You hung out with him a little bit.
Well, actually, I knew Tony when the Consolinos came to town, and it was probably, I bet I was, I can't remember exactly, but I think I'm sure it was an elementary school, and they lived down the street on the corner. We lived on Thompson Street, and they lived on the corner, and there's this Italian family coming over, there were a whole bunch of kids and everything else, and the kids went to Queens, and I was going to Cascades at the time, and yeah, I remember Mr. Consolino. I remember Tony, of course. Got to know Tony, and then Phil. Phil and I became pretty good friends, and
Phil's
so,
watching right now. I think he's in Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Phil's, of course, he's the one that's really trying to kick this thing back in gear and keep it up and going, as you know, David, and everything else. But yeah, no, I knew the Consolinos, and like I say, Phil and I became good friends, and Tony was quite a guy. Talk about a character. Tony was a character. There ever was.
Oh, he was a character. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like Father Coyle, you know.
Pulled no punches.
What's that?
He pulled no punches. He called it as he saw it.
Absolutely. Amen. Amen.
And I hear volunteering for Tony was not much volunteering. It was more, this is what you're going to do.
Right. You were voluntold.
Voluntold. I like that.
So you've been working on this golf tournament for a long time. It's raised over $1 million.
Oh, yeah.
Well over, right?
We're well over that, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been involved since 2006, which was the year after Rick was the honorary chair in 2005. I look back in the program. I always bring props, and I look back, and the honorary chair, Phil is taking over, as was mentioned, as the event chair this year.
Oh, good. Welcome back, Phil.
Yes, Phil and...
Does that have all the winners in there?
All the winners? I don't know if we took that out. I know that you like to look through this because your mom won it. I think we took some of those pieces out. We just had to thin out the program a little bit. So
Your mom was what? What?
My mom won when it was called the Walter Hagen, which is the predecessor to the Tony Open, because it was called the Walter Hagen for quite a few years. She won the women's division along with her three teammates. My mom?
You're
Yes.
kidding?
No.
I did not know that.
True story. It was in the book. It's not anymore.
What year would that have been? Do you know?
Must have been 1970.
1970 something?
Well, how many years have we done this?
this has started in 77.
Okay, 1977.
This will be the 47th Tony Open this year. We missed the COVID year, so we don't call it the 47th annual anymore because of that year, but I think that's like most things.
This is the trophy you won. Who won this? Someone won this?
I always bring the trophy to prove that I have won a golf tournament trophy. I got carried around by Ted LaFear, Casey Sykes, and Scott Karstens one year, and I just rode their coattails to the division. It doesn't say which division, but I did win a division championship.
Okay. That's all that matters. I won the Rose Run rollerblade division of older guys. Rick, have you ever won a golf?
I've won a bunch of those. My team had to pick out the right guys.
That's right.
And ride them.
So usually this sells out and you can't get into it, but can you get into it this year?
There are still spots available, yes.
Oh, look, there's Rick and...
Rick and Richie Bacon. Actually, I started out playing with Richie Bacon, and I played with those guys for 40 years. And Keith Franstead right there, who's passed this past year, and then Kirk Mercer was one of the other guys.
Yeah, he's saying, don't...
Look at the pants, the baggy pants kind of guy. What's that?
Don't get my picture with Rick Walton. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, yeah.
And it's at country club every year.
It is.
It is June 3rd, first Monday of June. It's kind of a tradition. It's nice because the companies and the teams that play every year, they have it in their calendar really before the letter goes out often. So to answer your question, there are spots, but the field will fill up as it always does, and it's going to be a great event. Even though Phil is taking over as the event chair and he's getting all of the Consolino brothers back involved, I have just some other obligations that are pulling me away from it this year, but I'm still involved. I still talk to Phil, talked to him yesterday. I'll talk to him, I'm sure, tonight, and keeping track of the teams that are signing up. We got Alro back as our presenting sponsor this year. Alro
Nice.
is always helpful, and we're lucky just to have the support of the community and the companies that come back year after year. Walton, Emmons. Just the names that you would expect fill up the field, and we're lucky for that.
Nice. And to get in, you call Phil Consolino.
I'll give you his number.
It's right there.
Oh,
678-673-0999, June 3rd. And there's a whole thing, lunch and prizes.
dinner.
Well, Rick, it's been a while since you've been here. Dave, I know you watch the show, and Rick comes in every now and then, and we catch up on his life. Yeah.
You were going to do the catch up with Rick 15 minutes here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm happy.
What's going on?
You know what? Last week, we were in Switzerland.
You were in Switzerland?
Yes. Yep. And it was nice country, nice people, and it was beautiful country and whatnot. It was fun to go there and everything else. Probably the most interesting thing, and you flew into Geneva and you went to a town called Montreux, and it's right there on Lake Geneva, and the mountains are right here and everything else. And I probably one of the most interesting things I did. We all know, not as much you, David, because you're younger, and it's Charlie Chaplin, which I'm sure you remember Charlie. But he was, a guy that I never really paid much attention to. Why do you laugh? Why do you laugh like that?
David doesn't remember Charlie Chaplin.
I know who he is. My son just did a book report on
Oh,
him.
did he? Well, yeah, he was built he was born like I said, 1870, 1880, something like that. It's interesting history. But I went to his museum, and I thought, well, I'll go to that. You've seen some of his different things that on videos, whatever that they've had of him, and I didn't pay much attention to it really. I mean, he's kind of a goofy guy. Did some goofy things, but pretty good guy. He was really a pretty good guy. Like 8 kids, and just pretty interesting guy. Born in London, moved to America, asked to leave America for political reasons, and we went to Montreux, Switzerland. So it was fun. It was fun to go through that. It was very interesting to me, and I didn't think it would be. I say I'll go look at it, and it was pretty cool.
Did you have any? Were there any language barriers for you because of your? You're not multilingual. You're not.
Well,
monolingual.
when you got a problem, you don't understand the language, you just talk louder. No, for the most part, it's English. It's not English, but they speak English for the most part. That was the good news on that, and that was interesting. Ate a lot of chicken there, and they had a lot of cows around, but it was really expensive. It was expensive there. I couldn't believe that. The cost of living is quite expensive for people there. So
really, food. I picture food. The chocolate and.
We did have fondue, cheese fondue. So
cheese, cows.
We went there, and I went to the up to how do you say Goury, the cheese GUI. Guerre. Went to that hometown where that was at, and went into a bar, and it's where the first Alien movie had. And one of the weird bar was there, and it was the weirdest bar. You couldn't believe all the stuff they had. It was just weird, but it was interesting. It was kind of interesting how this ever happened, but I never found that out how it did. But no, it was fun to go there and travel around and see the people. People were very nice, and it's always fun to go to another country like that. The only problem is getting there. It's drive. You fly here to Amsterdam, then you fly in over to Geneva, and then you go home. You fly to Paris, and you go home that way. And it's just it was interesting. It really was interesting.
Nice weather.
What's that?
Nice weather.
Good weather.
Yeah.
About 60 degrees.
What's there snow caps on the mountains?
Oh, definitely. In fact, actually, it was so funny. One day we looked up there, and there wasn't that much snow up there. a long way away, of course, and then the next day, all kinds of snow up there.
Huh.
I should have went up. We could have gone up on some kind of a train. that would go up there.
Tram thing?
Yeah, tram of some sort, and we didn't. I should have, just for the heck of it, to go up into the mountains to see all that.
Well, will you come back next week and maybe bring some pictures and maybe some, did you bring me anything back from Switzerland?
I got a couple bills for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lastly, what do you got going this weekend?
This weekend, believe it or not, actually my wife just left today to go back to Florida for a couple of different things she had to do. And I'm going to go to the regional track meet for my grandson. I'm going to go see my twins play soccer, for sure. I'm going to go see Taylor play softball, and that's pretty much what I'm going to do.
That's that time of year, and Dave, you'll be coaching soccer on Saturday.
All I do is coach kids and chase them around to their various sporting activities.
Yeah.
And promote the Tony Open.
There you go. Get
Call-
signed up.
Make sure you call Phil. It's a great day. And, be remiss if we didn't say it's a tournament that raises money in the fight against cancer. And funds go to the Gail M. Jacobs Cancer Center here in Jackson for lung screenings. It goes to the American Cancer Society for all that they do. So we do need people to hold the event. So please call Phil. And thanks for letting us be here to promote it.
Great. And come out and see Rick and Dave and all the many longtime supporters of the Tony Open. Well, that's it. Thanks to Rick Walton and David Best. We've run out of time. Thanks to all our guests, all our great sponsors, including Rick and the Walton Insurance Group. Tomorrow, make sure you get out and about. We've got so many cool things happening in Jackson. Monday morning, Ted Ludlow, Jesse Brown, and Sandy Yeager will be joining us for the morning show. We'll see you then.